Hi guys, welcome back to our episode. Today we're going to be talking about how anesthesia works. I'm Serena.
I'm Ellen.
I'm Sharvi.
And I'm Shanti.
Just to give some basic information about sleep in general, there's two main types of sleep. The first one is non-REM sleep, and REM stands for rapid eye movement. And the non-REM sleep occurs right after you fall asleep, and this is when brain activity decreases, and most people enter like a deep sleep. And then the other form of sleep is which occurs after non-REM sleep, which is called REM sleep, and this is when most dreams occur because it like the section of the brain causes the body to become paralyzed, so except for your eyes. So like because it's called rapid eye movement, your eyes are like moving around, but the rest of your body is like essentially paralyzed and it can't move.
Yeah, and basically dreams are when the mature brain is adequately activated and disconnected from external stimuli and without self-reflection. And they're also mental, emotional, or sensory experiences that take place during sleep. Like Shanti said, they are most common and intense in REM sleep or REM sleep when the brain activity increases. But no one really knows for sure why we dream, which is the most, for me, like puzzling and concerning. Dreams usually come in images, thoughts, or feelings that occur during sleep, and some people dream in color, but others dream in black and white. People who are blind can tend to have more dream components related to sound, taste, and smell, which I also find very interesting. And dreams always have first-person perspectives. They're involuntary, so they happen no matter what we want or think, and many can be very illogical. So a lot of people wonder why we dream. And there are many reasons for this, some being to build memory and to process emotions, and also to keep your mental house, or like to mental housekeep, such as clearing away partial erroneous or unnecessary information in your brain. They are also to replay recent events and review them, plus analyze them. And this can be from like your recent week, month, or even past year that has been kept in your mind. Sometimes dreams are just a byproduct of sleep and have no essential purpose or meaning, which is very important for people to think because some people overthink what dreams are about a lot. Adding on to this, there are also a lot of different types of sleep, such as lucid dreaming, which is when a person is dreaming but also is actively aware that they are dreaming, and vivid dreaming, when someone's dreams are especially vivid and realistic with very clear content. You might also know of nightmares, which can cause someone to wake up from sleep and often are reported from people with much higher rates of mental health disorders, such as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and PTSD. And adding on to this, there are also a lot of studies on psychologically why we dream. One study suggesting that dreams stem more from your imagination than from your perception. So from your imagination, such as memories, abstract thoughts, and wishes that are deep inside your brain, rather than, again, perception, such as vivid sensory experiences that you collected in your brain from previous experiences. And lastly, some other people wonder why dreams can be so strange. This has a lot to do with neurotransmitters and brain chemicals, such as acetylcholine, which is a brain chemical that maintains brain activation, and similar to dopamine, which helps give dreams a surreal quality. And REM suppresses neurotransmitters that usually keep us awake, such as histamine, serotonin, which makes us less conscious. Shari, do you want to add on to why we dream?
Yeah, definitely. So, like Alan mentioned, they're just theories on why we dream. No scientist really knows why, but I'm going to explain some of the theories. So, one of them, like Alan mentioned, was memory consolidation. And basically, the idea behind this theory is that while you sleep, your brain sorts and stores important memories from the day. So, REM sleep basically strengthens connections in the hippocampus and the neocortex, which integrates new experiences with existing knowledge. So dreams may reflect this memory processing by combining fragments of events, emotions, and knowledge of the day or the last week. Then the second theory that is well known is emotional regulation, where dreams help process strong emotions. So the amygdala is a highly active like part of your brain, and it's highly active during REM, while the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for rational thought, is less active. So this lets you replay stressful or emotional events without full conscious control, which may reduce anxiety or help problem solving. Then another theory is that dreams happen due to threat stimulation. So the brain might rehearse survival skills in a safe environment. And then dreams can also simulate challenges or dangers. And then it's like training your body to respond without the real world risk. And then the last theory is creativity and problem solving. So the brain links unrelated ideas during dreams, which can inspire creative solutions. Serena, do you want to just talk in general about how dreams work?
As with all medical procedures, there's lots of pros and cons. So some of the pros for anesthesia includes that it prevents pain during surgery or medical procedures, obviously. And then it allows complex and life-saving surgeries to be performed safely. It reduces physical stress and trauma to the body. It can be tailored for like local, regional, or general to fit specific procedures. And modern monitoring can greatly improve safety and precision. And then for some cons, there is a risk of side effects such as nausea, vomiting, or dizziness. And then there's possible allergic reactions, which is pretty rare, but like they're pretty serious too. And then there's also temporary confusion or memory issues if you do like general anesthesia. And then recovery also takes a lot of time, especially for like general anesthesia. And then there's also a very small risk of serious complications such as breathing or heart problems. And as for cost, it varies depending on the type, because local is not that expensive, or is the least expensive, but then general is the most expensive. And it's also like typically billed separately from the surgeon's fee and then like the other operating room costs. And it's influenced by procedure length. So the longer the surgery is, the higher the cost would be. And then it requires specialized equipment and trained anesthesiology professionals. So then it like costs to pay them too. And then in the US, it's the local ones, the local anesthesiology procedures would be like around $800, and then like the general ones would be around $15,000, which is a lot of money. So
as Serena and Sharvi were saying before, I'm just going to talk about like the parts of the brain and how they like contribute to like dreams. So the first part of the brain is the thalamus becomes active during REM sleep, and it basically sends images and sounds to the cortex. So that's like what you're seeing in your dreams. And then the amygdala is also highly active, which makes dreams feel emotional and like they like relate to your life more. And then the cerebral cortex is responsible for interpreting and processing those signals, and then that's like how you like see it in your head kind of. And then as someone said before, but the frontal cortex is responsible for like decision making and like logic. And so that's why during like dreams, a lot of things like don't really make sense, or they can't actually exist in real life. And then also during REM sleep, the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that is responsible for memory storage, is also not as active. So that's why when you wake up, you usually can't really remember what the dream you had was about, even though like you just had it before. But yeah. Sharvi, do you want to add on? Okay, wait. And also, you've probably heard of this before, but a lot of people have like common interpretations for what dreams mean, like what it symbolizes in your life. And like some of the most common ones that I thought were interesting was like, if you have a dream where you're flying or floating, it symbolizes a desire for freedom or escape or like achievement of something. Or if you have a dream of like being late or like being chased by something, then it represents that like you have like a lot of anxiety or stress or guilt, or you're like overwhelmed in your life. But also these are just like not like myths, but like they're not like the science like hasn't proven it, but I thought it was like interesting to add.
I'm Sharvi.
I'm Ellen.
I'm Serena.
And I'm Shanti. Wait, just a quick disclaimer, this podcast was researched and produced entirely by high school students, so not everything will be completely true. Thank you for listening. Bye.